You three are currently students at City of Glasgow College. Can you tell our readers, before we get into anything else, a little bit about the course that you're currently studying?
So we're currently studying NQ Broadcasting, which was a mix of radio and television, and that is an equivalent to a National 5.
And what does the course, you say a mixture of radio and television, what's the focus there?
So the focus is kind of, learn camera techniques for the radio, the television side. But the radio side is more so focusing on, interviewing techniques and just the kind of base you need for radio, giving us a little taste of getting into the studios and using the decks for radio. So
some technical experience.
Definitely.
And is it radio, you said radio and television, is it radio that you three were sort of more focused on, that's the kind of career path that you're interested in?
Yeah, so all three of us are focused on the radio side of it. We all want to do radio presenting on the radio station, so I think that's where we were, but some of our class are different, want to go to the television side. So it's a good mix in both halves.
Okay, and two of you, before we go any further as well, aren't from Glasgow.
Yeah.
You're both from Edinburgh?
Yeah.
So how come you're studying, why did you come through to Glasgow? Why not study in Edinburgh instead?
So when I first looked at courses, I looked in Edinburgh for courses, but these radio courses, broadcasting, are the only ones in Scotland. So I had to come through to Glasgow to study, and I think it's the same for Will as well.
Yeah, I was the same. I actually had a look at the HNC course last year, but I didn't have the right qualifications, so I decided to go to the NQ course instead.
Okay. And that's an interesting point and an important point as well, isn't it? If people don't know differences between NQs, HNCs, HNDs, an NQ is a sort of like an entry-level course that's quite open and accessible for people, so you didn't have the qualifications for an HNC, but an NQ gave you a route in?
Yeah, I'd say so, because like Derek said, the NQ is equivalent to a National 5, and I think the HNC is equivalent to an advanced higher. So
this felt like a better route in?
Yeah.
If I can just spot in, usually NQ is an equivalent to a higher, but for this specific course, it's an equivalent to a National 5.
Okay. So from there, you would have been hoping to come in, complete the NQ, and then be able to move on to presumably an HNC or HND type route, and ultimately into university. And you're saying you wanted to do that with a radio focus.
Exactly.
So that would have been the goal.
Yeah, that was the plan.
What can you tell our readers what has actually happened instead?
Okay, so we all had conditional offers for the HNC in radio and podcasting, but we were told in a short email that basically the course had been cut, and then soon after we found out that HND had also been cut. So there was no really kind of route we could go down, because that was the expected way to go from NQ Broadcasting. So what has actually happened is we've been told that we can't do radio anymore, and we've been given the option to go to media and communication, which is completely different from radio, or HNC and television, so it's completely taking us off track.
Okay, and I think that's an important point, just in case anybody missed that we'll clarify. You already had conditional offers for these courses?
Yes.
And presumably the conditions were that you had to complete your current course?
Yes, so to pass the current course and to get recommendations from all our lecturers.
Okay, which obviously you've then, if you need recommendations, you've been working towards that, and then so to find out after you've got a conditional offer that the course is being cut, how did that feel?
I'd say it was pretty sad, because me and Derek found out while we were on the way to college. And as soon as we got in, we asked our lecturer what was happening, because it was just completely unexpected to us.
Okay, and so having gone to the college, some of you from the other side of the country, with the view that you go through the NQ, HNC, HND route, eventually into university for a career in radio and podcast and broadcasting. With the route that you are going to go into next year having now been cut, where does that leave you as students now?
It leaves us a bit lost, because when we started the NQ broadcasting, it was made clear that the route was NQ broadcasting, HNC radio, HND radio, and then university. But that plan's just been totally scrapped, and we could go down different routes, but there's not a clear path like we initially thought we had in the beginning. So we're kind of lost, and we've been given different options like media and communications, like Derek said, but it's not the same as radio. You're not learning all the same techniques that I feel like we need to do the career that we want. And we've been offered television as well, but it's not what we want to do, and we'd just be wasting time where we could be learning more skills towards the career that we all want.
Okay. And is there anything, since we're here, we've got a camera and such like that, is there anything else that you want to say for anyone who might be watching this, whether they be, our readers or maybe people from the college, whoever it happens to be?
Whoever it is, well, this is mainly towards other students because other courses have been cut and we realise that. We think it's what we are doing, fighting for our course. I think all students should aim to do so because there's not enough students broadcasting their voice really, and fighting for the course because there is other alternatives, going to another college to do that course, or maybe they might be in the same situation as us and it is a unique course, it's the only one left. But we want our voices to be used to fight for our course back, but we also want to encourage our other students, I think, as well. I think it's as well, we've been hearing from our lecturers that not enough students are doing that, and I think it's to encourage them as well.
Okay. So it's not just about trying to protect or restore your own course, but it's about the broader cuts that are happening to colleges and maybe want people to pay a bit more attention to that.
Yeah, we want I'll reach end on this, that this is, yes, it's a fact that government funding may be cut, but what they're doing to us, taking away our course after conditional offers, is not on giving us false hope basically. We've been kind of left lost with minimal support, and we weren't told about given more information about this cut from the head until 2-3 weeks, maybe come up to a month after the case, which it shouldn't have been. So I think if other students follow in this path as well and do the best they can.